animated feature, we have Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man's winning.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It won Golden Globe. It won Critics' Choice.
And he deserves it.
It deserves it, for
Yeah.
sure. I think, if anything, I think Incredibles could take it just because it's a Disney piece, but Spider-Man's my lock.
Yeah. I've not
Yeah.
seen Into the Spider-Verse. I want to see Into the Spider-Verse. It's to the point where I almost have a hard time believing Into the Spider-Verse is as good as everyone says it is.
Oh, believe the hype. Believe the hype.
Yeah. It's just like last time I checked IMDb has an 8.7 and is 18th on the top 250.
No, that's
Well,
impressive.
Here's a question for animated feature that some people have argued, because it's such a broad category of animated feature, are you judging the animation itself or are you judging the overall film? Some people argue that it is just the effects of the animation itself. Does it change it for you if it's still Spider-Man? Or, if we're judging the film as a whole, do you still believe it's Spider-Man?
I mean, I think it's Spider-Man on a lot of things. Sony is patenting this technology that was used within Spider-Verse because the animation itself is so, revolutionary. On top of the fact that it integrates so many different comic book characters and so many different, so many different people in the Spider-Verse itself into one film, I think that overall it's the strongest film in there. And animation-wise, it was pretty stunning to look at all around. People were talking about this being up for Best Picture. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, but I think it's a lock. I really do.
I would believe the same thing. I'm just gonna also bring up Isle of Dogs. I wouldn't be mad if that wins either, but definitely Spider-Man as a whole. Obviously the animation gave it that extra boost. That's why it's right now in my mind because of the animation. But
It also
as a
doesn't
whole, it
look
works
like
in
anything
so many
else.
levels.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I was just gonna say, Spider-Verse doesn't look like anything else. It's such a distinct style of animation.
It's its own thing for sure.
That I think that alone gives it the leg up. Isle of Dogs is stop motion,
Yes.
right? So that has a distinct look, but it's been done before. Incredibles 2, it's a Pixar film. We all know what that looks like. And same thing for Ralph Breaks the Internet. Not Pixar, but same that same style. And Mirai, I'm not familiar with.
It's a anime.
Okay. But yeah, I think Spider-Verse, just that style of animation and all of the buzz that it's been getting, I think that's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to director.
Now this is where I'm passionate about.
You're
I'm
passionate
passionate
about
about
it?
this one too.
Yeah.
So we have Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman and Paweł Pawlowski for Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. So what do you guys think?
Alfonso Cuarón deserves it. Alfonso Cuarón is gonna get it, and I'm not gonna be surprised, but I'm gonna be glad when Alfonso Cuarón gets it.
I agree that he's going to get it. Half of me agrees that he deserves it, but my pipe dream is Spike Lee here. But Adam McKay for Vice.
Why
What?
though?
What? I'm glad it wasn't Peter Farley.
No, but Barry
Um,
Jenkins, come on
But
in.
Barry Jenkins really, I thought, would have taken that. Or Bradley Cooper.
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big
he'd be
snub.
up there.
But I think Cuarón will take it. I think he's going to come out with the most Oscars single-handedly.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we'll need two hands to carry them. But I crashed. But I want it to be Spike Lee so bad.
That would definitely be important
Mm-hmm.
because he's a big figure in American cinema. He has definitely projected his voice throughout the 90s and 2000s and now the 2010s.
Yeah.
But it would be a big win if he gets it, and I would have been mad if he gets it. But definitely Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah,
Let's do
I
it.
think he definitely has the best shot. I agree. Why is Adam McKay here? And Ari Aster isn't.
True.
I agree with that.
I think maybe Lanthimos has a shot. Pawlikowski maybe. I get the sense I like Cold War more than most. I don't think he's gonna get it, but it would be cool if he did. But it's probably gonna be Cuarón.
Yeah. I just feel like he's already won two. The Academy obviously loves him. The
Oh, yeah.
Academy obviously loves Roma. It's the most nominated film. But for Spike Lee never to get a directing nomination, and for this to be his first one, and for him to have a decade that spanned have a career that spanned 4 decades at this point, part of me really just hopes that this is not only a career win, but also because it was such a strong return to form for Lee that he could pull it out. But I do think that this is a one-man race and that it is Alfonso Cuarón.
We can forgive him for the Old Boy remake for Black Klansman.
For sure.
Let's move on to supporting actress. Now, we have some also very strong players in this category. I say that for a lot of categories because we have some great people in each category. We have Amy Adams for Vice, Marina Del Tavira for Roma, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk, Emma Stone for The Favorite, and also Rachel Weisz for The Favorite. So 2 people from the same film.
Mm-hmm.
So, Regina King's getting it. She won Globe.
Mm-hmm.
She won Critics' Choice. She is up for BAFTA. I don't know if that has happened yet. She didn't win SAG, but Emily Blunt won it for A Quiet Place, and she is the only person who's not nominated for supporting actress here.
That's why it's hard to call,
Yeah.
for sure.
This is Regina King's to lose. She is the front runner. I think that Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz aren't going to take it just because they're from the same film and they're going to split the vote. I can't see it going to anyone else. If it does, I'll be gobsmacked here.
Yeah, I think Regina King has the best shot based solely on the fact that Beale Street has so few nominations that they're probably going to be trying to give it awards in all the places that they can. And like you said, she's won so many other awards already. So I think she's probably got the best shot.
I definitely agree. Regina King is gonna get it. I'm surprised to see Marina de Tavira in this category. She's not gonna get it because, like, for her, I think it's already a win, the fact that she's nominated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But definitely Regina King is gonna get it, and well deserved, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She had a really powerful scene in that movie that I think most of us who have seen it remember.
Yeah.
And just because of that scene alone, she deserves the praise.
And she just looked so good in those sunglasses.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, the one snub that I really was expecting was Claire Foy from First Man,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
Marina de Tavira took that in Roma, or Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place, but I just can't see it going to anyone else. I'm sorry.
I do agree. I think Claire Foy was the best performance of First Man.
Yes.
By,
Yeah.
like, not even a lot of competition in that film either.
Yeah, she was actually carrying, like, she was, like, emoting for
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, because Ryan Gosling was very stoic in that
Yes.
movie. And
He's been spending too
Claire
much
Foy
time
was-
with Nicholas Winding Refn.
given, yeah.
Alright, well, let's move on to supporting actor. We have Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Sam Elliott for A Star is Born, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell for Vice.
Mahershala,
Mahershala.
for sure. He's
Yeah.
won everything.
Happy to see
Yeah,
Sam Elliott there,
probably.
but Mahershala,
Yeah.
I'm
I think
kind of surprised to see Sam Elliott there, though.
he did a pretty solid job.
He did do a good job.
he lost momentum, though. He didn't get that Globes nomination, so
Mm.
I was kind of getting worried for him. But Mahershala's won everything. The only person I think could take it is Richard E. Grant, just because he's been in the business for so long, and on social media, he's milking this Academy Award nomination so much. It's all he's talking about. He's so excited. But this is going to be crazy because Mahershala is going to win twice in 3 years, which is just going to blow my mind. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for him.
And I think he deserves it,
If Green Book gets anything, it's deserving for supporting actor, for
Okay.
sure.
for sure.
I am happy to see Adam Driver nominated because after watching Black Klansman, his performance I think was the strongest.
Yeah.
And just Kylo Ren has an Oscar nomination. Like, it's weird because he kind of, for me, came out of nowhere in The Force Awakens, and now he's suddenly everywhere. And he's, I think, here, especially distinguishing himself as I'm more than the Star Wars guy.
For sure.
He did a great job.
I think the one that really got me was Sam Rockwell for Vice.
He doesn't deserve to be there.
Very much a character.
I would rather, like, if we were nominating Vice for that movie, I would rather nominate Steve Carell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rather
Donald
than-
Rumsfeld.
Because I love Sam Rockwell. I think he's one of the most underrated actors ever. But, I mean,
Well, he did win.
he was
I was
just
gonna say,
he did win an Oscar
yeah,
a
but like,
year ago.
But this
no, but like, I'd say he's still pretty underrated.
He's
and,
worked a lot before he won.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him before, like, 3 billboards. Like, did you ever see Moon?
No, I
Or-
haven't seen Moon. I
He was
want to
fantastic
see
in
Moon,
Yeah. But yeah,
but I've not seen it. But
Mahershala is gonna get it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about lead actress. We have Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. We have Glenn Close for The Wife, Olivia Colman in The Favorite, Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born, and Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? What do you guys think?
If you would have told me, if you got me in August and you said who's going to win lead actress, I would have said Glenn Close. And then if you would have gotten me in October and you would have said who's going to win lead actress, I would have said Lady Gaga. And now we're in February and Glenn Close, who has won everything and tied with Lady Gaga at Critics' Choice, but I still think that's fake. Glenn Close is going to win this Oscar, and the little monsters are going to freak out. Freak out.
I want to see some love for Olivia Colman. She was fantastic in The Favorite. And I'm really happy to see Yalitza Aparicio in the category because it's her first acting role.
yeah, I was gonna ask,
That's
is this her
amazing.
debut?
Yeah.
She was going to be a teacher.
Yeah, she wasn't an actress,
Yeah.
and she did phenomenal.
Yeah, she did do a good job. I think her performance is what sold the authenticity that I think he was really
Yeah,
going
like,
for
to
with
be
that
honest,
film.
this is more than just like a great underdog story.
Mhm.
Like, her performance was legitimately the best thing.
Yeah, when she was on the beach, it was one of the most like heart-wrenching things I saw last year.
Yeah.
So, Glenn Close has had a career that's spanned 5 decades. She's the most nominated actress who has never won an award. And Lady Gaga, this is her first movie, and she can always make another one.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
All right, well, let's move on to lead actor. We have Christian Bale for Vice, Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born, Willem Dafoe in At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book.
This is definitely between Christian Bale and Rami Malek. Like,
Which is crazy, because, again, in October, everyone said this was Bradley Cooper's year.
yeah.
Just losing momentum, and that's something we can see time and time again with A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
I think it's Christian Bale. I know that you think it's Rami Malek.
I actually don't know yet. Since Rami Malek got SAG, that's a very good like way to call who's gonna get it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
but like
probably the best
you
indication.
mentioned before this,
He won Critics' Choice for comedy and for just actor in general.
Christian Bale.
Yes. He
Yes.
also won Golden Globe, and Rami won Golden Globe as well. But are they going to go with someone who's really young, or are they going to go with someone who's accomplished and who's won supporting but hasn't won lead yet?
Well, Christian Bale got supporting back
Yes.
in the day for The Fighter.
Yes.
Yeah. So it
But
was
he hasn't won lead.
2010.
He hasn't won lead though. Yeah. But yeah, this is hard to call. I would definitely say it's between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like Christian Bale to get it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those two definitely have the best shot. I feel like Willem Dafoe is nominated out of obligation, kind of. I mean, he's playing Vincent van Gogh, and how can you not nominate an
And he has never
actor as-
won anything.
Which is surprising, because he is a very talented actor. But I don't think the film's gotten nearly enough attention that he has a shot at winning. I think Christian Bale probably has the best shot. I think Rami Malek also has a decent one. Bradley Cooper, I really enjoyed his performance, but I don't think the Academy would choose that over Bale or Malek. And I've not seen Green Book, but I don't hear much talk about Viggo Mortensen's performance.
Yeah.
For us, there's a controversy because he
Yeah.
said some
He said a racial
bad
slur.
words.
Also, it's interesting this year that 4 out of the 5 are portrayals of real people.
True.
And Cooper isn't. But Christian Bale also gained 40 pounds for the role. And as we can see time and time again with
Oh,
Old
they
Mid
love
last
that.
year, is they love when actors gain weight.
They love method acting.
Yes. So I have to give the leg up to Christian Bale here, even though in my like wildest dreams, Bradley Cooper would finally win an Oscar for his role of Jackson Maine.
That'd be great.
All right, well, let's move on to the biggest category of them all. It's
Ooh.
Best Picture. Yes, ooh, indeed. We have 8 or 9 films.
8.
8.
We have 8 films nominated, which usually there can be up to 10, but they've only decided to do 8 films this year. We have Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
No Hereditary, no Beale Street. And
No.
yet we have Bohemian Rhapsody and Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yeah.
baffling.
Hereditary is my big snub. I know you guys would probably Beale Street.
I
but I've
agree
not
with
seen it.
Hereditary though.
Yeah, me too.
I will say this. So I've been thinking a lot about this when we talk about like the Oscars changing. If we look at our Best Picture, 4 of them revolve around people of color,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 of them have LGBTQ themes running through them, and then Vice and A Star Is Born. Vice even has a little bit of LGBTQ stuff with
The daughter.
Dick Cheney's daughter.
Yeah.
But as much as I don't agree with 2 of these pictures this year, really like 3, it's really important here to see that Oscar is really changing. And inclusiveness and diversity is something that we can really see that is coming through. No longer, I think, is the idea of the token movie something that we can continue to talk about. Because if we look at this list, there's so much diversity in 2 movies that kind of like don't really do the diversity well. But there's so much diversity that I think that's something to be applauded. And I'm really excited to look at this list.
I just think it's like a step forward. I don't think they're quite there yet, because Bohemian Rhapsody, though it represents Freddie Mercury's gay side, it doesn't do it well. I think it's
Yeah.
very over the surface.
Oh, I agree. But I think it's still like reaching towards it. And I think that Green Book and Bohemian Rhapsody are 2 like things that kind of falter on that front. But still, if you look at the list as a whole, it does reach those themes and check those boxes that would otherwise only have 1 film or 2 films on that list that do that.
So how do you guys feel about the fact that one of the things that the Oscars is going for is, ratings itself? Right now, last year the Oscars had the 44th, starting the sentence again. What do you guys think about the fact that some of these films are included that might be seen as more commercial success than critical success? I mean, last year the Oscars had the lowest ratings in 44 years, so they are trying to push films that, more people have seen, so, they get more viewers for the Oscars. There are some films in here, like Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star Is Born, that have done incredibly well when it comes to commercial success. And while some of these films have also done well critically, what do you think of that mix going on?
Well, I think this is a problem that's been going on for the better part of the 21st century. If you think back to 2008, so the 2009 awards, there was the big backlash of The Dark Knight not being nominated. And it was after that that they decided to expand from 5 nominees to 10. And I think the intention of that was, okay, we do the 5 more artsier films that not as many people have seen, and then we do 5 films that people have seen, films that people can root for, that will bring them in. And instead they just nominate 10 movies that most people haven't seen, and they're kind of trying to fix that, and they were earlier last year with the popular film category, which I'm convinced was invented so they could nominate Black Panther for something. And when that didn't work out, they went ahead and nominated it for picture when I don't really think it deserves it. It's a fine movie. It's an above average superhero movie, but it's not the best superhero film of the year. I think if you were gonna nominate a blockbuster, it should have been Infinity War.
Spider-Man.
Or, well,
I disagree.
Or Wonder Woman was also last year.
No, Wonder Woman was 2017.
I lied. Please don't put that in there.
Justice League was last year.
Oh, I hate you. But I understand what you're saying. Black Panther also, though, was just an important movie. I don't think it was as much about, like, a comic book movie as it was, like, about a landmark movie that had, like, such a diverse cast and something that talked about, really embodied Africa. And I know some people would think that it didn't do it well, and obviously, like, I'm not someone to say that it did or it did not, but there was still, like, that effort put into it. And I think that this list also shows with, like, Bohemian Rhapsody and Green Book and A Star Is Born and Black Panther that, like, we don't need to have a popular category. Like, there are some good movies that made a lot of money, and that we have 10 slots to fill, and obviously it's so rare for us actually to hit all 10 because of the way that the voting process goes. But you can get some of those big movies in there. And I think the thing that's great about Oscar is that one part of it's to celebrate those great movies, but another part's to highlight those movies that we wouldn't otherwise see unless it was nominated for Best Picture, like things like Roma.
I just feel like it loses credibility, the fact that it's no longer about being the best picture of the year. It's like, what's the best film that just, like, encapsulates everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in a way, it makes perfect sense, and I do agree there has to be more diversity in the awards, like, because if not, you're just like inside one box and you don't explore like everything. But at the same time, it's not exploring everything. Like most films are widely known and commercial, even though you haven't seen them. Like they're not all like Dark Knights, but they're still like the top art films, I'd say. Because there's a lot of talent that's not being recognized, right? So when it comes to Best Picture of the Year, I don't think it's fair to say we're gonna give this movie the Best Picture of the Year because it's about diversity, right?
Yeah, I don't think that would be right. I think you judge it on its merit as a film, not necessarily its cultural impact, because I agree, Black Panther is a very important film. I don't think it's the best film of the year. I don't even know if it's one of the best films of the year.
I don't think that it's not going to win. Like,
No,
we all know
no,
it's not going to win Best Picture.
Not even a little bit.
But I think it's important to have it there and have it... I think, yeah, like, some people like Infinity War and some people like Spider-Man more. And I'm not saying that Black Panther is the best movie of the year, but isn't it, like, great that we have Black Panther up there, though? Like, isn't it great that, like, the first comic book movie that's put on as Best Picture is Black Panther? Like, that's just so awesome to me. And
I think it's pretty awesome that we have a comic book movie, but I don't think this was the right comic book movie.
Yeah.
Even though it did an amazing cultural thing, like, it's amazing to see this kind of representation on screen, because this means a lot to a lot of people, and that's something pretty big. When it comes to Best Picture, though...
Yeah,
I
let's
would
each...
agree.
I think what we should do now is each of us go around and say what we think is going to win Best Picture.
Let me add to that, what we think and what we want.
yeah.
Okay, so yes, what you want and what you think will win.
So, what I want to win wasn't nominated is If Beale Street Could Talk. Out of what I want to win from the list would be Black Klansman. What will win is Roma, and I'm not mad about it.
For me, Roma is gonna get it, and I want Roma to get it. I've been calling it, like, way back, even before, like, the award season started. I've been saying Roma is gonna win Best Picture, because it's really well deserved.
What about you?
I think Roma's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it to. I liked it. I didn't love it. Out of these, I haven't seen The Favorite. I think I'll like it. I really like Killing of a Sacred Deer, so I think I'd like this as well. Out of these, would probably say Black Klansman. I really enjoyed that, but I think Roma's got the best shot.
Thank you for joining us for this DKA Roundtable where we discuss the Oscars. If you want to watch the Oscars with us, we have our annual Oscar party on February 24th at 7:30 p.m. in the IC Square or the pub in Campus Center. There we'll have lots of food and snacks for everybody, plus there'll be raffles, and the money for that will go towards the charity of Serious Fun. Thank you, and have a good night.